Hey everybody, I've been doing a series on self-esteem, and last week we were doing some talking about different types of self-care, because whenever we take care of ourselves, that is an act of self-love which raises our self-esteem. And so we talked about various ways to take care of ourselves, and today I wanted to explore relationship self-care, because when we take good care of ourselves in relationships, those relationships are healthy, and we're more likely to leave toxic relationships, which of course is also good self-care. And that is a definite act of self-love, treating other people also with good care. So there's a million things we could talk about relationships and good self-care within relationships, but I'm going to focus on just a few today to get your thoughts rolling, but let me know of other ones that you think of or that have worked well for you. First of all, forgiving other people for their mistakes, wrongdoings, or for difficult situations between you. Just like part of taking care of ourselves is forgiving ourselves, we must forgive others also. And it's really not to release them or do them any favors, although it's very kind. The real effect of forgiving another person is releasing yourself from the situation. It's like, because when we harbor anger or resentment toward others, that is terrible. It's not self-care at all. It has terrible consequences for you, physically, emotionally, mentally, every way you can imagine. And so forgiving others, it relieves you of the burden of hanging on to things that are upsetting and negative and very heavy for you. Another is to always be looking for the positive in other people that you're in relationships with, expecting the best, looking for the positive take on whatever is going on. Often with situations in our relationships, there's gobs of ways that we can look at them. And I hate to say it, but sometimes our tendency is to look for what isn't going well, or taking something someone says in the worst possible light, when in fact there could be a very positive light that they intended for it. So looking for the best in others, looking for the positive, is good self-care. It keeps you in, again, that positive mindset that I talked about last week. All of these things do, and that's what we want in life, is to remain in the most positive mindset we possibly can, especially in terms of our relationships, because our relationships are so important to us. They're so core as part of our human experience. So keep that in mind. And then affection. Give affection in your relationships, whatever is appropriate within the context of the relationship that you share with another person, and only with the other person's permission, of course. So, because physical touch is another way that we show love and connection to another person. And there's all kinds of research on the benefits of physical touch when it's gentle, it's kind, it's mutually satisfying and wanted, and so forth. And so make sure that you're physically connecting with the people you have relationships with. Depending on people's ages and what your relationship is with them, that can be very different. It can be hugs, it could be a hand on the knee, it can be a pat on the back, it can be kisses, it can be long embraces, it can be a sexual relationship. Whatever is appropriate and, like I said, mutually agreeable between you. But adding physical affection is good self-care for you, because giving and receiving physical affection has so many health benefits to all of us. And then, of course, just practicing general patience and kindness toward others is very healthy for us. When we can be patient and kind, again, it keeps us in a peaceful frame of mind. It keeps us feeling better about ourselves, which is good all the way around. And then the people receiving our patience and kindness are more likely to give that back as well, if they're emotionally able to do so. Uh, there are gobs of resources on relationships. There's so many books and so much out there about relationships. But one of my all-time favorites is The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. 5 Love Languages. Now, this started as a book about couples in a romantic partnership. But his work has seethed into all kinds of relationships and really speaks to all relationships. And so if you're looking for a simple book to read that's literally available everywhere, that gives you some really practical guidance, and there's also a quiz in there you can take to find what your love language, your primary love language is, I really, really recommend it. The 5 Love Languages, the basis of it is that Gary Chapman believes that all humans have a love language, so a way that we want to receive love. We have a primary way, and then we have other ways that we can receive it. So it's our language, how we feel loved. And he rounded it down to 5 and says that most of us have a primary, or 1 or 2 that are primary, and then and may like to receive love in all the other ways. And so to know our love language, so we can share that with people in our lives and say, this is what's important to me, so they know how we like to be loved. So the 5 Love Languages he talks about in his main work is quality time, physical touch, words of affirmation, gifts, and acts of service. Okay, so if you're someone who it means so much to you when someone in your household empties the dishwasher without you asking, or you come home and the leaves are raked, then you're someone who your primary love language might be acts of service. So someone doing something for you to show they care for you. If you're someone who wants to snuggle and cuddle and hold hands and kiss, or once your loved one always physically near you or touching you in some way, you're probably a physical touch person. I am a quality time person. I like gifts. I appreciate all the love languages, but my main one is quality time. So if you really are someone in my life close to me, I'm so happy when we have time together, even if it's time on the phone, having a conversation, a Skype time where we are talking, or when we can get together and just be together, doing something together, or just being together. That is my primary love language. So, so the book gives you a chance to do a little quiz, not a quiz, but a profile thing, so you can identify what your main love languages are, and then you can tell your loved ones, this is how I most love to be loved. The thing that he found in his research that's very, very critical is that he says what humans tend to do is give love in the way they most like to receive it. So if I do that, then I'm thinking in my head, everybody wants quality time. If they want me to love them, that's how they want me to love them. So I'll spend my time with people, spend my time with people, spend my time with people. That would be my human tendency. But what's important for us to remember is that not everybody is a quality time person. But we tend to do that. We tend to give love in the way we most like to receive it, but that isn't always the language of our partner or our people close to us. So then they don't receive it as much as we are intending to give it. So the importance of this research is to realize, find out your love language. So yes, you can tell your love people what means the most to you, but don't assume that everybody likes to receive love the way you like to most give it. So find out your love people's love language so you can offer it. And when you do that, and you are able to give love in the way that people most want to receive it, that is good relationship self-care for you, because you'll feel better. You'll feel like you're communicating and operating in the most healthy way in your relationships, and you will grow your relationships in very positive ways, which always feels good to us. It's good for the soul, and it makes our lives more meaningful to have those quality relationships. So anyway, I hope this is helpful. Let me know what works well for you too, besides what I've shared, and I will look forward to talking to you again soon. Bye.